You can probably tell I live next to a train. The reason for this video is that I can no longer, in good conscience, hold my tongue about a lot of things. There's so many different doctrines going on out there. There's uh, I probably should have made notes on this because this is really important. And I want people to stop listening because I have a difficult time forming the right words. There is hell. There is heaven. There are realms between heaven and hell. There are levels of existence that mankind has completely forgotten about. There is only one God. He exists in three parts. Three parts that he has ordained, and the three parts that he wants to exist in. He could just as easily exist in just the one. But he's God, so he does what he wants to. Mankind, humans, Homo sapiens, whatever, were created to live a specific way. We were created for an exacting purpose. We were created for God. We didn't invent God when we got to a point in our evolution that, we have to figure out why. We have to know the reason for existence. Existence made us to exist. God, existence, creation, whatever you want to, he's God. Has natural laws that we are supposed to adhere to. If we choose not to adhere to them, then we're outside the will of God. I'm going to start preaching about this sin or that sin. Just about everything humankind can conceive is sin. Because we're not doing what we were designed to do. We can go back to Genesis. We weren't created in a suit and tie. We weren't created in jeans and a t-shirt. None of us had makeup and none of us needed a haircut. Where these glasses I'm wearing, they wouldn't have been necessary. The whole concept of God saving the world so mankind could have more of the world, just, do y'all have any idea how many people y'all are sending to hell? Yeah. You preachers that are preaching God helps bank accounts, you're sending people to hell. It's just that simple. Ain't no two ways around it. How successful you are in life has nothing to do with how good a person you are, how good a Christian you are, how closely you adhere to biblical doctrine, or how far away from biblical doctrine you are. Precious metals and jewels and land and possession None of that has anything to do with God. It wasn't something that mankind was created to have. Mankind was not created to possess anything. We were put on earth to live here, to walk around and eat berries and various vegetables and I don't know, maybe the occasional bug. I don't know what we're supposed to eat. Don't know. I don't know about everybody running around naked. Y'all don't want to see me run around naked. But fashion sense is something I don't have. You don't see me running around trying to look good. I can. I have. But that's not what it's about. I wear clothes to keep from getting a sunburn. Keep from getting scratches, dings, and bruises all over me when I'm at work. Keep from picking up goat heads. Walking around without shoes in Texas is a bad idea. That stuff's not who we are. It's not who God wanted us to be. And here's the thing. We have got to come together in some form or another of collective Christianity. That means can't be Baptist anymore. Don't need to be Assembly of God anymore. Don't need to be Pentecostal anymore. Don't need to be any of the different versions of Catholic or any of the different versions of Baptist. I mean, you got Independent Baptist, Southern Baptist, Fundamental Baptist, Primitive Baptist. We can't just keep fussing and fighting and arguing over doctrine. Because guess what? None of us are right. I was raised a Baptist. Some of the worst people I've ever met. Some of the best people. But some of the worst people I've ever met were Baptists. And I'm talking regular churchgoers. Here's the thing. We need to come together and decide who Christ is, who God is, what God is. We need to come together and decide who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, and start doing it. We can't keep living like God is our possession and expect our Creator to be okay with it. Because it ain't never going to happen. I spent a lot of time in the Old Testament. I've gone through the New Testament and gone through the New Testament. And it's still my favorite part of the Bible. But when you start taking the Old Testament apart, not like rearranging it or whatever, but when you start trying to figure out why we needed it and what it's saying and why there are rules. If the rules don't matter, why are they there? Were they there just for up until the time Christ got here? If they were, then why did Jesus himself say, not one dot nor one tittle shall pass from the law or the prophets, but all shall be fulfilled? Stuff that was dictated in the Old Testament and in the law and in the prophets and stuff still hadn't happened. It didn't happen on the cross. A lot of the stuff, promises that were made in the Old Testament were fulfilled and did happen on the cross and on the resurrection and the ascension. But not all of them. Jesus said not one dot nor one tittle. That means everything. That means that the Old Testament still applies. So if you don't want to follow Old Testament rules, you don't want to follow God. And to me, that would be the same as denying Him. If you don't want to follow God the way God wants to be followed, you're denying Him. In Matthew, He says very specifically, I don't care if you're able to cast out demons in my name. I don't care if you're able to perform various miracles in my name. I don't care if you've preached me to the entire world your entire life. If I don't know you, I will cast you away. And in order for Him to know us, we have to go to Him the way He wants us to. You better figure it out. I'm still trying. The more I study the Bible, the more scared of hell I get. Because they got a reserved seat for me. I got it coming. I just really hope before my days are done that Jesus has gotten to know me. Because I don't want Him kicking me out. And you don't either.